Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green, and we are here at Fantasy Orchids in Louisville, Colorado. And we're just going to look at some of the pretty flowers that are at the opening and the entrance of Fantasy Orchids before we go back and look at my collection. So we got a couple of nice things here with that Vanda Pure's wax previously, this lovely Cattleya, and then we've got the beautiful Maxillariella tenuifolia, the Max 10 coconut orchid, with its lovely coconut fragrance. Here's a Dendrobium aggregatum with one spike, and the flowers are really nice. They last a couple weeks, and they have a nice fragrance as well. So definitely a plant that you might want to add, especially if you like that yellow, golden yellow color. And speaking of golden yellow, this is Paph Prime Child. It is a Rothschildianum cross, and it has been in bloom for about a month, so that flower's about ready to go. Now when you look at these leaves, it's hard to imagine that these are attached to this beautiful spray of butterfly or moth-shaped flowers. This is Phalaenopsis schilleriana, and it's finally in full bloom. The spike actually started pushing out in September, so it's been a very long time since it's been growing, and I'm glad that it's finally open. And it's funny, it wasn't fragrant at all until the very last flower opened, but then when I went in there this morning and took this video, I could smell fragrance out of some of the flowers, so I was really happy about that. Now, in spite of the fact that these have taken several months to bloom, they'll only be open for a couple of weeks, and then they'll start to wilt, and hopefully we'll see some new growth for the next season. And speaking of growth, this newest pseudobulb on Cattleya rex is really exciting. This is going to be the biggest one that any of my seedlings have put out so far. And it's big enough that, fingers crossed, it might have a sheath inside of it. That would be so exciting. Really looking forward to seeing that. Paphiopedilum has been open for a little over a week, and it's still looking very nice. I actually took it to AMAOS judging last night, and they said that it wasn't big enough and it wasn't symmetrical enough, but, well, hopefully, maybe they told me to bring it back when the plant is bigger, and maybe the flower will be bigger, so we'll try that in a couple years. Bulbopyllum echinolabium is pushing out its next bloom, and it's also got a new growth pushing out, and that is very good to see. This plant lost several of the leaves. You can see a lot of those bulbs are missing leaves. So it's good to see new ones growing out to replace them. Now last week I asked you guys about a problem I was having with a little Bulbophyllum. This is antenniferum, and it has lost 3 or 4 new growths in the past few months. So some people were saying that it's a calcium deficiency causing the new growths to die off. So I unpotted the plant and looked, and the roots didn't look that bad. In fact, there were 3 growing root tips. I was expecting to see the roots all dead, so the fact that the roots were growing is a good thing. So what I did was I repotted the plant. Previously it had a big wad of wet sphagnum in the pot, and now that's not the case. It's just got bark, perlite, charcoal, and it's a lot airier mix. I'm still gonna keep it moist, but I'm hoping that maybe the slightly drier medium is gonna help the plant take up nutrients again, so we'll see. Now this bulb is the only pseudobulb of Walaxis latifolia. This plant has been in dormancy for a couple of months, lost all its leaves in December, and just a couple weeks ago I spotted a new growth pushing out. I'm not sure if you can see it down there, but there is a new growth pushing out, and so I did pot it up, and hopefully we'll see some new growth coming out of there soon. This Vanda falcata has always grown really well for me, but since it's been here in the greenhouse with stable temperatures, regular fertilizer, good airflow, it's really taken off. There's been lots and lots of roots, especially, that have grown on this. And you can see right there there's little growth pushing out of the middle of the plant. That, I believe, will be the flower spike for this year. And I'm looking for that to start growing out in the next couple of months. So that'll be exciting to see this little guy bloom. Buds and blooms are always nice to see, but roots are probably my favorite thing to see growing out of my orchids, and this Bulbophyllum's got some really nice ones pushing out. So very happy to see those. This tent is purposefully put over my Catasetum orchids to keep any water off of them, and on the recommendation of my friend Stephen Van Campen Lewis, who's an American Orchid Society judge down in Austin, Texas. I've packed this sphagnum really tightly, and I don't want to water the plants at all until Memorial Day, so that's like the end of May. Now, Steve has just come out with a video on the pet method of Catasetum culture. If you haven't seen it yet, please follow the link above and give it a watch. It's really interesting, and he's had very good success with this method. Well, it's March 2019, and I bought these Cattleya seedlings in March 2014. That's 5 years, guys. I'm really hoping with all the growth that we're seeing this year, that at least one of them will put out a flower. That would be really nice. This is the largest one. It put out a sheath last year, but it doesn't have any new growth on it yet. But I don't know, hopefully we'll see something. Be really exciting when those finally bloom. Well guys, it is a beautiful sunny Sunday, so I am going to get out and enjoy it. I'm glad that you stopped by to see my green pets, and we will update you again on the collection next week. So until then, have a great week, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later.